the whole time I'm at this thing, my heart is like pounding in my chest. I just feel like somehow I'm going to get called. But she gets to the very last 5 and I still haven't been called. And so I'm kind of sort of fighting my disappointment. I'm like, oh, well, c'est la vie. That's how it goes. But very last number called and I'm one off. But my friend who had invited me turned around and said, this is yours. And so I nervously stood up and walked to the front. But she started at the other end of the row, so one by one, and I didn't hear any of the readings before me. But then she finally got to me and, she'd asked that we say our names and who we'd lost. So I told her that, and she said, okay, who is A? And so I explained that was Arron. And then she was like, okay, who is Tim or Tom or a T name? And so I said, wow, okay, that was his friend Tim who died, whose funeral was a few days before Arron's death. And then she was like, who's Nicole or Nikki? And I, at the time, couldn't think about it. I couldn't figure out who that would be. Although later it came to me, sort of later in the reading, I realized that Nikki was the wife of one of the colleagues that Arron was with that day. So then I was like, oh, I thought of it. So, it was kind of a lot of the same sort of platitudes, he's thinking of you, he misses you, all that sort of stuff that you would expect from a psychic. But then she said, I don't understand this, but she said, I'm getting fish table. And I just started to laugh and I couldn't believe it because Arron was one of these people who, he worked in sort of the tech industry, I guess, software. And so it always frustrated them that he never made tangible things. So on weekends he would come up with these ridiculous projects. At one point he came home and he built a deck off the garage, because I guess you need decks off your garage. And the other thing he did was friends of ours had given us like 2 sort of tile slabs. I guess they were quartz or granite or something. And so he decided to build a table around them. And he spent all weekend doing that. And I was completely resentful because while he was busy building this table, I was taking care of the kids. And at the end he said, okay, you need to go get a fish because this is for fish. And I knew what he meant. Like, I think he was expecting like a big fish. Like this was a table for like slaughtering